kayo, no? Yan ang problema. Ito, tama si Congressman Paduano. Kailangan pumunta kayo dito. Prepared kayo. Kasi
Morning, Mr.
Attorney Angelica Di Malanta, you are recognized, ma'am. Please state your position and your name, please.
Morning, Mr. Chair. State Counsel Angelica Di Malanta from the legal staff of the Department of Justice. Mr. Chair, we are actually in the process of finalizing our position paper. However, with the indulgence of this honorable body, if we may allow to have a read through of what may be expected of the position paper.
Can you speak louder? Hindi madinig ni Mr. Richard Gomez.
So, Mr. Chair, good morning, and the honorable body. I'm Angelica De Malanta, State Counsel of the Department of Justice. We are in the process of finalizing our position paper on the substitute substitute bill on the mandate of law enforcement officers to use body-worn cameras during law enforcement and special police operations. However, with the kind indulgence of this honorable body, and as we are finalizing our position on the matter, if you would allow a quick read-through of what you may expect, or would you just be awaiting po yung position paper of the department?
Of course, we will be waiting for the position of the department. That's the reason why we refer this to the technical working group. Again, you will be invited on that technical working group. But initially, what we wanted is to your overview of the totality of the bill. So,
Yes,
you have a comment on all those House bills that have been filed in this committee.
Sir, Mr. Chair, we do have a position on the substitute bill of those House bills.
Please delete the substitute bill because this is not yet the substitute bill. The technical, magkaroon lang tayo ng error for that. But this is we haven't come out with a substitute bill yet. We're about to do that in the technical working group. But this is an initial deliberation. No, this is the second initial deliberation. No, this is the second deliberation on this matter. No, because of the importance or significance of this body-worn camera, and that's the reason why we wanted that to be committed back to this mother committee and be referred to a technical working group. So we have given you a longer time, no? Kasi na-discuss na to dati eh. Probably, were you the same person who have been invited in this hearing? Oh,
yes,
same ka, di ba? So meron ka ng tinatawag na parang bird's eye view sa totality nung nagugulat kayo, no? Yan ang problema. Ito, tama si Congressman Paduano. Kailangan pumunta kayo dito. Prepared kayo. Kasi last time, we have discussed this fully, lengthily, and then, yun ang sulat namin sa inyo to discuss it further. Dapat meron na kayong substantial comments.
Mr. Chair, well, we do fully understand. However, we were provided with the version of this substitute bill in substitution of the previously mentioned House bills.
Okay.
Kaya ito po yung position paper that we were preparing to provide the committee.
So you have read the substitute bills, supposedly substitute bill. Nabasa niyo rin
The
naman, di ba?
supposedly substitute
So do you have
bill,
comments
Mr.
for that para at least we can discuss it in here?
Again, Mr. Chair, pending finalization of our position, we would be providing that we recognize the intention of the substitute bill, and while we interpose no constitutional and legal objections to this legislative measure, we do provide the following comments or observations. On Section 8, on prohibition on the use of body-worn cameras, it states there are the privileged communications wherein the body-worn camera shall not be allowed to be used, and we note that these are taken or may be similar with those enumerated under the revised rules of evidence on persons who are disqualified to testify by reason of privileged communication. However, the supposed substitute House bill did not include in its enumeration those made between husband and wife during or after marriage, saving certain exceptions. Another one, Mr. Chair, is that the supposed substitute House bill included in its enumeration the peer support counselors, as part of privileged communication. However, such communication is not considered privilege under the revised rules of evidence. On Section 13, Mr. Chair, this honorable body, it indicates that a court, in its discretion, shall grant the use of viewing, copying, or disclosure of images and recording upon request by law enforcement officers. However, we seek to clarify whether the access to the recordings of different law enforcement agencies, such as PDEA or PNP, pertaining to a single or same operation would require two different court requests. On Section 14, it states there that failure to observe requirements of using body-worn cameras shall not render the operation unlawful or render the evidence inadmissible. Facts surrounding the operation may be proven by testimonies of law enforcement officers, those involved in the operations, the subjects of the operations, and other witnesses to the operations. However, with the kind indulgence of this honorable body, Mr. Chair, as you reminded earlier, that there is a CCTV bill that's also being pushed by this committee. The department notes that there may be other evidence which may establish facts surrounding the operations outside of the enumeration provided in the supposed substitute House bill, such as, but not limited to, the closed-circuit television or other video surveillance systems, which are already in place where the operations were conducted. And as a point of clarification, on the second paragraph of Section 14, it states there that law enforcement officers who fail without reasonable grounds to use the body-worn camera shall be held liable under existing laws. In the same manner, Section 15 states that failure to observe the requirement of using body-worn camera without reasonable grounds during the execution of a search warrant shall render it inadmissible. We seek to clarify if these reasonable grounds, which were referred to in the second paragraph of Section 14 and in Section 15, are the ones that are already stated in Section 6, which is the immediate threat to the officer's life or safety, which makes activating the camera impossible or dangerous. Finally, Mr. Chair, we note that the difference of the treatment of evidence obtained in case of failure to observe the requirement of using body-worn cameras during an operation and during the execution of a search warrant. Because under Section 14, failure to use body-worn cameras during operations shall not render the operation unlawful or render the evidence inadmissible. However, under Section 15, failure to use body-worn cameras during the execution shall render the evidence obtained inadmissible. So we are seeking clarity if this is really the intent on the difference, on the differential treatment. And finally, on the same two paragraphs, there's the execution of a search warrant under Section 15, the non-use of a body-worn camera is justified only when the body-worn camera malfunctions during prior to the incident. However, for a law enforcement officer's liability under Section 14, the non-use of a body-worn camera may be justified on two grounds, which are malfunction or when allowed under this Act. So we also seek clarity on those two provisions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair,
Mukhang nagbasa to. Congressman Akop, tapos si Congressman Paduano.
may I ask the good lawyer representing the Department of Justice, when did he receive the invitation?
The department's legislative liaison office received it on 8:59 Friday, and then it was forwarded to us yesterday at around on or about 9 a.m. Mr. Chair, Ms. Representative Akop.
Yes, and you had time. I was listening to your discourse, and I think you have read the supposed draft bill with your clarifications to be asked. So, I'm just asking this question because you received the invitation February 9, just as the right time or the time also that the DILG representative received the invitation. Pero yung Department of Justice representative, nagawa niya yung trabaho niya eh. Samantalang yung Department of Interior and Local Government, he has no clue insofar as the issue at hand is concerned. Yun ang napansin ko lang, Mr. Chair. Kasi, nabasa ko naman yung supposed draft bill, pati yung mga bills na kagaya ng in-author ni Honorable Gomez, may mga questions na tumatama yung Department of Justice representative. So, I'm just quite surprised that DILG and the DOJ received the invitation at the same time, pero yung DOJ representative, nakagawa ng kanilang comments and questions to be asked insofar as the provisions in the supposed draft bill are concerned. Yung DILG has no clue. So, yun lang ang aking observation na Mr. Chair. Kaya tama rin siguro yung mga pagtatanong ni Honorable Paduano kasi ako chairman din na isang committee, yan din na napapansin ko sa aking mga committees. Paiba-iba yung dumarating, walang masabi yung ibang pinapadala, yung iba naman magsisik pa ng guidance. So I think, Mr. Chair, this has to be resolved. It is just an observation, Mr. Chair. Thank you.